Welcome to the Writers Weekly podcast, a forum geared toward the writing enthusiast and those who want to make money from their writing. I'm Brian Whidden, managing editor of Writers Weekly, and I'll be your host along with Angela Hoy, the creator of Writers Weekly and president and CEO of BookLocker.com, a full-service book publishing company. Whether you want to learn how to become a professional writer, how to find writing gigs, or even publish your own book, then you come to the right place. We'll be discussing all kinds of topics relating to the writing and publishing industries. Don't forget, you can also click over to WritersWeekly.com. There, you'll find not only thousands of articles about professional writing, you can also find current paying markets and job listings to help you boost your writing career and even your bottom line. But for now, let's get on to this episode of the Writers Weekly podcast. Hello. We are back with yet another episode of the Writers Weekly podcast. I'm your host, Brian, and with me is Angela Hoy.
Hey, everybody.
So, let's see. This week's home office is it's kind of a stinker. I don't know. You want to start or should I?
Well, there was an odd smell in the house. What was it, about 5 days ago?
Well, it's been building up over like a couple of weeks. At first, we thought it was the dogs coming up and down the stairs to the basement.
Yeah, because we had a lot of rain. It rained for like 2 weeks straight. So
we started getting a musty smell on the stairwell of our basement.
Yeah, but turned out it wasn't must. But in the meantime, I thought it was the dogs coming inside and hopping up on the couch while they were still wet after romping in the rain. Mm-hmm. So I spent $50 or $60 buying these special waterproof blankets for the sofas because I don't let the dogs in the sofas, but Brian does when I'm not looking.
Well, no, they just kind of make their way up there, and I just don't think about it. So we get this. It smelled like musty, wet smell. I was worrying that we had like water intrusion in the foundation coming into the basement. So I'm looking around for wet spots, on the carpet or the walls or behind boxes or anything like that, and I can't find anything.
And you steam the sofas?
I steamed the sofas. I steamed the carpet on the staircase.
Yeah.
Everything. And the next day it was worse. Even worse. And so
our son Max has been staying here to help out since Brian broke his back, 5 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
And Max came upstairs and he said, "Mom, it really stinks down there." So I opened the basement door and poked my head, because then the stairs go down, and my eyes started tearing up. My stomach turned upside down. And I said, "Brian, that's not water intrusion. That's rigor mortis."
We thought we started thinking then, okay, there's a dead animal in the wall somewhere. I mean, I started searching everywhere. We have a drop ceiling throughout our entire basement. So I'm lifting up ceiling tiles and sticking my head in there and sniffing around, trying to figure out if a mouse or a raccoon or something got in here and died.
Now, supposedly the nose knows, but apparently your nose didn't know. And neither did Max's. Max was down here pulling out things and looking everywhere for dead bodies. There's nothing. And
then Angie finally uncovered...
after you guys came up and said, I Googled it and I ordered...
Oh, yeah, we spent more money.
Yeah, dead animal odor absorbers.
In case you didn't know those existed. Yes,
they do.
They have dead animal odor absorbers.
I ordered 5 of those. That was another $100. And so those were supposed to arrive the next day.
And they did.
Yes, they did.
Because we were putting them out and hanging them on the banister and stuff.
So I needed to go downstairs to get in one of our big freezers to get a TV dinner because I was judging the finalists for the quarterly 24-hour short story contest.com.
We have a pair of big chest freezers down in the basement.
Yeah, so I opened the chest freezer and I leaned in, and for some reason it smelled worse in there. So then I really stuck my head. I literally stuck my head all the way in the chest freezer. Good thing nobody closed the door on me. And I didn't smell it deep down. So I knew that the scent was somewhere really close to the freezer. Now, we were looking for like a dead lizard or a dead mouse or something, right? I found the dead body. It was not in the freezer. In front of the freezer, there was a grocery bag, like from the grocery store, right in plain sight. Everybody could see it. Everybody just stepped over it, ignored it, whatever. I originally thought it was like, sometimes we put groceries in the freezer and we pile up the bags and just put a bunch of bags in one
when
bag.
it's grocery day, a lot of times we'll bring in all the frozen stuff downstairs and we load up the freezer and we just stick all the grocery bags into one grocery bag and we just leave it on the floor and move on to putting away things in the pantry, and we get to the bag later.
Right. Well, so I looked down right in front of that freezer on the floor of the basement in plain sight was something that had expanded to the size of a bowling ball. I peeked my head in there. Woo! Found it. Somebody who had been loading groceries into the freezer forgot to pull an entire frozen hen out of the bag, and it had been left in that bag.
Or forgot to put it back in the freezer.
Or, yeah. Had left it there on the floor in that bag. Unfortunately, it was so bad. I mean,
there's no telling how long it was there. Could have been a week. Could have been 2
weeks. We don't know.
Could have been. Somebody could have gone in there looking for something in the chest freezer and forgot to put the thing back when But
it was bloated so bad that the plastic had ripped open all the way around the chicken. And so I took the bag, went out the back door, threw it in the garbage can. Said a prayer for the garbage men because that was going to be 2 days later that they were going to pick up the garbage.
And it did keep just smelling worse and worse. I had to take the trash out today.
What's interesting is Google said if you can't find the dead body, wait 3 or 4 weeks. That's all it takes for the process, the decomposition process. That wasn't going to work with the size of a bowling ball.
No.
I came back in and I noticed, oh no, there's a wet spot on the carpet. And I can tell you, the smell was nauseatingly severe. It was really, really bad. You could taste it. Anyway, long story short, Brian pulled out our carpet steamer to kill. We went through a roll and a half of paper towels soaking up
the juice.
Yeah. Oh, we had to move up both the freezers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brian pulled out the steamer, went to work trying to kill the bacteria. Max was in town. I called Max. I said, Max, Brian wants to know if you can rent a rug doctor from the grocery store and get a bottle of shampoo. We wished we'd gotten more than one bottle of shampoo. 24 hours later, the smell's completely gone. The carpet's all clean. Everything's fine.
Well, it's 48 because it's Wednesday now. We got that steamer on
Monday
on Sunday,
right?
And we rented it for 48 hours, and I went over that spot probably 10 times.
Yeah.
And between each treatment, I scattered baking soda on top of it and then ran fans to dry it so it would all soak into the baking soda. And then I'd go back and steam it again and suck up all that stuff and put more baking soda.
It worked.
It worked.
And today's Wednesday and the garbage men picked up the body.
Yeah. So things are back to normal. We don't have a smell in the basement anymore. Thank God for that.
And thank God we didn't have to rip up the carpet.
Yeah, well, because if that smell was still down here, you wouldn't be getting this podcast episode today.
Right, because we're in the basement recording studio. We would not be recording a podcast episode.
Yeah. So that was our excitement for this week.
Yeah.
And, bad back or no bad back, I had to sit there and move those stupid chest freezers and run that damn steam cleaner. And, oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's home office for this week. Yay.
I shared the story on a lot of people don't talk about these kinds of things. I shared it on Facebook, and I wouldn't tell people what the dead body was. Like, one lady's like, was it a mouse, a rat, a rabbit, a fox? So
fox.
Not quite as big as a fox, but a little bit bigger than a small rabbit, yeah.
Oh, that was interesting. Okay, so today's topic, we're going to be talking about Amazon KDP and terminating author accounts and keeping unpaid royalties.
We're going to explain to authors why Amazon's doing that. We've got a checklist of things. Here's some of the reasons why they may have terminated your account without notice and permanently, and how they are legally keeping 2 months of your unpaid royalties.
Now, we run into authors fairly regularly who start wanting to know, well, why should I have a publisher? Why don't I just, upload my file straight to KDP and they're going to be, paying me directly? Well, you got to read the fine print.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's happening to thousands of authors each year now. So imagine this, your books are up for sale on Amazon KDP and they were selling just fine until you open an email from Amazon one day, and you're shocked to find out that your account has been closed immediately. No warnings, no nothing. Just your account's closed, and permanently. There is no mitigation process. There's no call us and let's discuss this. There's no if you'd like to appeal this. No, it's closed. And
they actually do offer you
they do give
option
an appeal,
to appeal, but when you appeal, it's just a bunch of bots responding to you. And we have specific examples from very frustrated authors.
And it's you can explain everything, and it could be a simple explanation. They'll still say, well, that doesn't fit our parameters, so you're still closed out. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Amazon won't tell you exactly why they terminated your account.
Nope.
Even worse than that, Amazon will keep your last 60 days of royalties, and you never get that money. Some authors have actually lost thousands of dollars with this.
I did some extensive research, and approximately 90% of terminated Amazon KDP accounts never get reinstated. 90%. They're terminating thousands of authors a year. I was able to find research on that as well. Fighting Amazon is almost always a losing battle. Very few stories do you see online where the author's actually gotten their account back. And at WritersWeekly.com, we've received numerous emails from authors who've been shut down by Amazon KDP. And again, there are countless reports online. If you Google something like "I was terminated by Amazon KDP," boy, your screen just gets full. Yeah.
Okay, before we go any further in this, Angie's going to give us our legal disclaimer.
We are not lawyers, nor do we play lawyers on television, nor on the internet. If you require legal advice for your situation, contact your attorney. You can also go to marketplace.writersweekly.com and click on the legal link, and we'll refer you to James M. Walsh, who's an attorney. And nothing in this podcast should be considered legal advice. This is just our advice after my 28 years of experience in the publishing industry, and both of us seeing so many complaints from authors who've been permanently banned by Amazon KDP.
We're not lawyers. We're just folks that like to read the fine print.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are a lot of questions and confusions online about Amazon KDP keeping authors unpaid royalties. So, Angie, how can they do that?
Perfectly legal. It's in their contract, which nobody reads. The forfeiture clause, clause 5.4.8. This is the part of the contract that addresses what happens to your earnings if you break the rules or if they simply think you broke the rules. Forfeiture for breach. If Amazon terminates your agreement because you breached your representations and warranties or violated their content guidelines, you forfeit all royalties not yet paid to you. That means Amazon gets to keep 2 months a year unpaid royalties, approximately 60 days. They run about 60 days behind on paying authors, which is normal in the industry. Unauthorized new accounts. We get into this later as well. If your account is terminated and you open a new account without KDP's express permission, Amazon does not owe you any royalties through the new account, much less the previous account.
Okay, so let's walk that through real quick. So if your account gets terminated, then you open up another account and keep selling your books, and they find out and they shut that account down, they won't owe you anything for any period of time that you happen to make on those book sales there.
And they will find the new account. And then you are permanently banned from Amazon if you open a second account.
Yeah, their algorithm is very good at finding out that you've opened up a new account.
Even if you do it under your friend or your spouse's name and email address, they always know. They know everything. Offsetting and withholding payments, deceptive or fraudulent activity. If Amazon determines in its sole discretion that deceptive, fraudulent, or illegal activity has occurred regarding your book or account, they may permanently withhold payments and offset previously paid amounts to cover enforcement costs or compensate harmed third parties.
Now,
this all came from Google, by the way.
You may be thinking, well, I have no intention of violating Amazon's rules.
Right.
That doesn't matter. It only matters if their computers and algorithm think that you have violated their rules.
Yeah.
And there aren't a bunch of human beings reviewing what you did.
Oh, it's all bots.
It's all bots
It's all
doing
AI.
this.
Yeah.
So you can go in thinking, well, I'm okay because I'm not going to violate their terms of service. But nope, that doesn't work.
Yeah. In fact, from what I've read, all the complaints I've read online, you can violate no rules at all.
Mm-hmm.
But if their algorithm thinks you did,
Exactly. Yeah.
you still lose your account permanently.
So in this episode, we're going to be including some real stories from terminated Amazon KDP authors. One contacted us just yesterday, and another one contacted us 2 weeks ago. And all of his books were removed from Amazon KDP, and he will not be getting $35,000 in unpaid royalties.
Actually, that's a mistake. I was trying to do he was owed 33,000 in euros, and that's actually 38,000 US dollars.
Oh, okay. All right. So this was in euros.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. So he wrote into us asking if any authors had initiated a class action lawsuit against Amazon.
Well, some authors have tried,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work because they didn't read the fine print in the Amazon KDP contract. It states that all disputes must go through small claims court or arbitration. They really push for arbitration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always important to, we get so used to every time we sign up for something or download something or install something on our computers, we just go ahead and click that I agree button because we want to move on and get on to what we're downloading or installing. But that's got all the legal stuff that says what's going to happen down the road.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's important to read that stuff.
Yeah. Arbitration is a private, for people that don't know, it's a private process where disputing parties present their arguments to an arbitrator. That's a, impartial third party. The person
like a referee.
Right, exactly. Very good. That person reviews the facts and they make the final decision. This process does not involve a judge or jury. If you choose the small claims court option, the maximum you can receive as an individual in small claims court in Washington State, and that's where Amazon's headquartered, is $10,000. That's assuming, of course, you win. Okay. Other states have different limits. I saw anything up to $25,000 down to $5,000 depending on the state. You can you can be in your state doing arbitration with Amazon, and it's all online now. You can also sue them in small claims court in your state, but your state may be 5,000, or it could be 25,000. But again, that's assuming you win.
Yeah, exactly.
However, the time and money involved in filing a lawsuit, not to mention the stress.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, Angie knows a little something about the stress of suing Amazon.
Yeah, we sued Amazon in 2008 for a violation of antitrust violations and violations of the Sherman Act. And we were going for class action, and Amazon settled with us before we ever got to discovery.
Well, it didn't get to class action because everybody was scared to join you.
Yes,
you were left alone
I had
to fight this.
Many phone calls with our competitors at the time, and they had already signed Amazon's contract. And we've talked about this before. If you go to antitrust.booklocker.com, you can read the whole story. But basically, they called us one day and told us if we didn't pay them to print our books, they were going to remove all our books from their website. And I publicized it, got interviewed by the Wall Street Journal, was contacted by a law firm, and we proceeded with the lawsuit. But we won.
Yeah.
But the stress involved, it was 2 years of stress. Now, they didn't remove our books in the meantime. If they had, we would have taken that immediately to court and had an injunction filed because it would have hurt so many of our authors. And seeing how Amazon is behind closed doors, it was nasty. It was a nasty fight, but we won. So you can sue them. And even if you don't have an attorney, you really have to consider, is it worth it to go through this? It could take months, could take years. How much money are you going to spend, not doing your regular job, or how much time are you going to spend preparing everything? It's extremely stressful.
We don't advise suing Amazon without an attorney. Hang on a second.
I got to sneeze, so you keep going.
Well, so one author did try to sue Amazon and represented himself in the court. Now, he lost, and not only did he not win anything, he was ordered to pay Amazon's legal fees, and you can only imagine what their lawyers cost.
Oh, yeah.
And we can put a link to that story on writersweekly.com/podcast under this episode,
which is number 43.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, the most frustrating part of this experience for authors, and it's happened thousands, is that Amazon sends them a generic canned email telling them that the author violated their terms of service or whatever, but they don't tell the author what they did.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this, and we've seen many examples of it. It's like the same email. You broke the rules. We're taking your account down. You're never getting it back, and we're keeping your royalties.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you can respond to them and tell them exactly what happened and why you're not guilty of anything. And you just get another little form response. Well, you violated our policies.
Well, and how can you even respond correctly if you don't even know what they think you did?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Okay, so once you are locked out of your account, you can no longer look at any of your sales reports.
Yeah, you're like, you got nothing.
Yeah, you can't see your royalties. You can't even get copies of your interior or cover files, nor can you get the metadata that you spent hours or even days ensuring was just right to upload.
Yeah.
You're done. You're finished. And
You're
you
out of
literally
business.
have to start all over from scratch with a different company like BookLocker.
Yeah.
So one little point of advice, if you're going to upload your stuff to KDP, you better have copies of your files.
You wouldn't believe how many people
Yes, I would.
think that it's in the cloud. I can get it anytime. I don't need a copy on my hard drive. You never trust your files to a third party ever.
Y'all do realize that the cloud is nothing more than computer servers.
Right.
And the person that owns those servers can lock you out at any time. Mm-hmm. The cloud is not, your information is not floating up in heaven for you can just reach up and pull it down anytime, any day, whenever you want, years from now. They are computers owned by an entity that can shut you out.
Yep.
Now, terminated KDP authors have used BookLocker to republish their books on Amazon.
Yeah, works great every time.
And Amazon has never refused to list any of the books that BookLocker has for sale because we got thousands of books on their platform.
Yep.
We're a business customer to them. We're not an individual author.
Right.
So it's different.
They treat the business customers a lot different than they
Yes.
do individual authors. Yeah. So, did your book get terminated by Amazon KDP? While Amazon will likely never tell you exactly why, and you may know you've done nothing wrong at all, we have a list of reasons why Amazon KDP terminates author accounts. And again, you may have done none of these, but they think you did. And trying to work with them to explain, I didn't do this, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. You're just going to get a form response sent by a computer back to you, and good luck talking to a real human. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think this is going to get worse as Amazon delves more and more and more into using AI to run their business.
That's one of the things.
Yeah.
Because
they're just basically they're going to hand it over to the computer program, and human beings are just going to be completely removed from that process. And then you have nobody using human logic.
Right.
To sort you already don't, but it's just going to be, and AI models have already proven that, the computer thinks it's right.
Yeah.
And you can't convince it it's wrong.
Right.
So,
And you're right about the fact that it pretty much is already there with Amazon, with their customer service for KDP. You just get these computer responses.
It's pretty much automated.
Yeah. A couple of the authors that we're talking about today sent these, imploring Amazon, please listen to me, please help me. You're talking to a robot. Yeah. So now remember, around 90% of terminated Amazon KDP accounts are never reinstated. You're fighting a losing battle. I was thinking today, how much money do you think Amazon KDP, this has been happening for years now, but it's getting worse. How much money do you think Amazon has put in their own pockets, keeping all those unpaid royalties from those thousands and thousands of authors? Yeah. Yeah.
Got to be in the millions.
Gosh, that seems like a financial incentive to me. But again, I'm not a lawyer. Yeah.
It's fishy.
It's definitely fishy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something smells, and it's not in our basement. So let's go over the list of potential reasons why your book can be terminated by Amazon KDP.
Well, you were just mentioning AI. Okay, one of their stipulations is no imitating content. Now, that's a big problem for authors using AI, because when you use AI for your interior writing or even for your cover, AI is using data created by other people or even other computers on the internet.
Stop and think about this, folks. AI has to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it learning? Well, that's all these companies did what they called scraping information off of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what information is on the internet? Well, that's information that people have uploaded to the internet.
People have written.
And things that people have written, songs people have sung, you name it.
Photos.
So
images.
that's how AI learns. Just like you have to pick up a book and read something for you to learn something.
Yeah.
Or somebody has to tell you something, but it came from somewhere. AI doesn't just dream this stuff out of thin air.
Right.
It came from somewhere. So when you write a book using AI, all the stuff that the AI is putting into this book that you've, quote, written or had it write, it pulled from sources that it learned from.
On the internet.
Which
were written by humans.
That's why you can easily get your stuff kicked off of Amazon, because look at what they're saying. You can't imitate content.
Right.
They've got huge server farms that do nothing but keep extensive files of what content is in all the books that KDP sells.
Yeah.
So those computers are capable of seeing right away if something looks similar to something else.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
We talked previously about a lot of people think everything on the internet is free.
Yes. Yeah.
You would be surprised. I've had many AI debates on social media with authors who use AI, and they insist, well, AI pulled it from the internet. Everything on the internet is free, so I'm not doing anything wrong. That is one of the most common misconceptions, especially among older citizens. Everything that somebody writes is automatically copyrighted to that. That person automatically owns it.
Yeah.
Okay? They may not have registered the copyright yet, but they own the rights to what they created.
Yeah.
And AI goes in and scrapes those rights right away from those people. And AI companies have been sued, Anthropic is one of them, for loading the entire text of countless books, copyright infringement, onto their systems for training. Yeah. And now they are in a multi-billion-dollar settlement lawsuit with many, many authors.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's stealing.
It is.
Yeah, it's copyright infringement. And again, if you use AI to create your book, Amazon detects that. They don't like that. They accuse you of imitating content. They're going to cancel your account and you're never getting it back. Other forms of copyright infringement are plagiarism. If you put song lyrics in your book for a song you didn't write, that's one of the most common questions we get. Can I use song lyrics in my book? No. You can use the title of the song, but the song lyrics are copyrighted. So no, you can't use those. So if they detect anything that they think might be copyright infringement or plagiarism, you're gone. You're out. That's considered an egregious violation of their terms.
So what if you write a couple of books that are very similar to each other? Well, that Amazon's computers can see that as duplicate content.
Right.
And or if your book is very similar to another author's book. We're going to be discussing a real example of this issue later in the episode.
Yeah. Trademark infringement. This is a shout-out warning to authors who write about celebrities, who write fan fiction, or this is also this was a debate going on a couple days ago on a Facebook author group. AI illustrations, a lot of them look like Pixar characters. I mean, they look just like Pixar characters. That's trademark infringement.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of them not only just look like Pixar characters, they look like a very specific Pixar character.
Yeah. And
the AI even names it that character's name.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah. And celebrity books, there's one case I read where she wrote about a book about a celebrity, but it was fiction, and Amazon took it down. So she rewrote the book, but changed the person's name.
Yeah.
But she forgot to remove the celebrity's name from her metadata.
Oh.
And so she was one of the few that got a warning. And she rewrote and republished the entire book, but she left that one little thing in her metadata and she was permanently banned.
Wow.
Yeah. And fan fiction, most movies and popular books, series of books, they often trademark their characters.
Mm-hmm.
And if you include them in your book and you publish that book on Amazon KDP, you're gone.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Let's see. Another reason you can get your account shut down is for poor quality, and this is kind of hard to understand because KDP has a lot of just garbage on. Basically, they'll take almost anything and publish it. Two examples of that is, for a time it was very popular for people to upload a blank book.
Yes.
And they'd call it like all the reasons that some politician should be elected.
Right. Yeah.
Name who you don't like. And then it would just be a blank book.
Yeah.
And that was a cute little gag for the first, 200 times people did it, but it became very popular. And there was an example of a pedophile that actually wrote a book on how to groom children and abuse young children, and Amazon and KDP allowed him to upload that and sell it. That was the guy that Grady Judd went after and picked up in Colorado.
Right.
What happened there was an undercover detective contacted the author and asked for a signed copy, and the author said the author's in Colorado, but he sent it to the detective in Florida, and that happened to be a Polk County detective, and Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd got on a plane and went to Colorado and took that guy to Florida to stand trial.
Good. That was actually published when KDP used to be called CreateSpace.
Yes.
And CreateSpace had such a bad reputation.
They had to change the name.
Didn't surprise me at all when they changed the name later. Yeah.
So it's hard to know if your book's going to be quote unquote poor quality to them. It's hard to even know what they call poor quality.
Yeah, but the pedophile how-to manual was just beyond
above the top.
I mean, wow. And Amazon.
Oh, they took it down.
They sold,
but,
after
eventually.
some complaints. Yeah, it took them a while, but they made money. Every copy of that book that sold, they made money helping this guy teach people how to molest kids.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on because your face is getting red.
Oh, because
you're angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That happens. This is a big one. Trying to have more than one KDP account. We already talked about that. If you come in with a different name, different email address, etc., if they determine that you've got more than one KDP account, you're gone. Permanently banned. Your email address no longer works. We actually have a real example of this in this episode.
Okay.
Of this poor guy.
If you try to manipulate or purchase reviews, they'll kick you off of there, and they should. Nobody should be purchasing reviews for their book.
Yeah.
We had an author contact us just recently whose KDP account was shut down, and they didn't tell him why, but all he could figure out was he bought 10 reviews from a review company, and that was it.
I told him, that's it.
And
you nailed it.
Those pay for preview companies won't tell you that you might lose your entire Amazon KDP account if you pay for their service, because they don't care.
Right.
You paid them money. That's all they care about.
Yep. Yeah. And it's fraud.
Yep.
Paying. Also, and we've heard about this a lot, asking your friends and family to post reviews.
Yeah.
Amazon knows.
Somehow.
They know everybody you know. They know your parents, your siblings. If you've ever bought a book for your cousin Mary and she comes in and posts a review for Amazon knows.
Now, if you're lucky, they'll just remove those reviews.
Right.
If you're not, you lose your whole account.
Yeah, they might go in and remove the reviews, or they might go in and permanently terminate your account for trying to game their system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Misleading metadata, like this is one example I read online, giving an incorrect category to an adult content book. Okay. Now, you don't have to get too creative to figure out, if you're adult content book, but you give it like it's for grades 4 through 8.
Yeah.
Or it's a children's book or something. So that's probably the most extreme example. But if your metadata does not accurately reflect the content of your book, Amazon will determine you are gaming their system, and that's against the rules. Metadata always has to be accurate. You don't make stuff up. You don't try to enhance it this way. It needs to correctly portray your book.
Yeah.
And you can't, I've seen authors try to do this. You cannot use companies' trademarks in your metadata, nor the title of a best-selling book or the name of a best-selling author. You wouldn't believe how many people put in their metadata Stephen King. So their book might pop up if somebody's
Thinking it's
searching
just
for
gonna-
Stephen
yeah.
or Stephen King and the name of one of his best-selling books. You know, the authors try it. Doesn't work with Amazon.
Yeah.
And-
Trying to manipulate search results in any way whatsoever, that'll get you banned off of KDP.
And using keywords such as bestseller or best-selling. Bestseller book, best-selling book when your book is not a bestseller.
That seems innocent enough.
It
but
seems
yeah,
innocent,
there
but
you
you
go.
wouldn't believe how many authors do that. Yeah.
Let's see, using unlicensed stock images in or on your book.
Yeah.
If you, and we talked about this last episode, I believe.
Right.
If you go on to iStock or Dreamstime or any of these other places and you just click that right click save as, and even if it doesn't wind up with all those watermarks all
Right.
over it, you can wind up getting your whole book canceled on Amazon KDP and not get any of your stuff back.
Yeah, because you didn't buy the images, you just took them. You stole them.
Well, and that's one of those examples where Amazon is fully within their rights to take your
Absolutely.
stuff down. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Let's talk about public domain books.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so let's see. What's a old book that everybody's publishing now? So any book that's in the public domain, anybody can grab that book and republish it. That's perfectly legal, except some companies and individuals have made a business out of doing that.
Night Before Christmas. There's one.
There
that
you go.
Yeah, thousands of books have that poem in it.
Right. Yeah. So unless you have considerably altered or enhanced the book, Amazon will not sell it, and they might terminate your Amazon KDP account just for trying to do it, because in their rules they state what you have to do with public domain books. So all these companies and individuals said, well, I'll just put all these books up for sale. So you can literally find, 200 different versions of the exact same book on Amazon, and Amazon decided to crack down on that, which they should.
Yeah.
If honestly, if you can't write your own book, why are you going
really.
and just...
Yeah. Be original.
Yeah, right.
Let's see. Now you can get kicked off Amazon KDP for false or fraudulent payment information or tax information.
Yeah.
So if you're having your money sent to somebody else's bank account, they can terminate you for that. If you're using somebody else's name or social security number, they'll terminate you for that.
You know that happens.
Anything that makes them suspicious about the account owner will get the account terminated.
Yeah. Okay, so we hired somebody to write an article for Writers Weekly. Okay. And it was an American name. The query letter looked good. This one got through me. This was a foreign scammer. It got right through me. Happens every once in a while, only with, article, writers writing articles. So writes the article, and it's just too bland and too perfect at the same time. So I run it through the AI detector. Yeah, it's AI written. So I'm like, and we have in our guidelines, if you submit an AI article, we're not going to pay you for it, and we're not going to publish it. Then in the same email, the person sent me the name. Sent me the email address for the PayPal account. So I go to PayPal, and I, copy and paste that email address, and the person's name pops up. It's Medulla Abdar something rather. It's not John Smith.
Yeah.
And I wrote to him. I said, "That's not you." He said, "Oh, that's a friend of mine." I said, "I'm not paying a third party for an article you wrote." And I hadn't brought up the AI thing with him yet.
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, I live in a country where we can't use PayPal." I'm like, "So you lied about everything, including where you were located. And no, you're not getting paid, and we're not running your article. And by the way, I know you used AI." So, and he said, "Thank you." He didn't argue with me.
Yeah.
That's new. Yeah.
Well, it's a good try, brother. If you use deceptive methods when selling your book under the Kindle Unlimited program, Kindle Unlimited pays authors based on the number of pages read as opposed to selling your whole book.
Right. And so if you weren't born yesterday, or you were born yesterday, Kindle Unlimited is a program. People pay Amazon, an annual fee, and they can download any and all of the books in the Kindle Unlimited program and read them not for free because, they're paying the annual fee to be part of the program. What Amazon does is they determine how many pages of each book are, quote, read. That means clicked on.
Clicked on and left open for a period of time. That's the only way they can figure out if somebody's, quote, read it or not.
Right.
Unless they're hacking into your camera and watching your eyes go back and forth.
Yeah, well, some authors, decided to get,
Cute.
Yeah, yeah. They might be using, now remember, these are ebooks, okay? They might be using deceptive formatting to make it appear like, that people have read more pages than they have. And here's some of the ways they do this. And if you do this, Amazon's going to catch you. So we're going to go ahead and tell you how authors are doing it. And if you do it, well, shame on you. You're going to get your KDP account canned. This is bizarre. They put the table of contents near the end of the ebook, but they put a link to the table of contents at the beginning of the book. Now, that means the person clicks at the beginning of the book, it takes them all the way to the end of the book.
So they have to click again.
Now, you would think this used to work, but it doesn't work anymore. You would think it would register all those pages as being read because, Amazon put a stop to that a few years ago. They figured that out. So, but if you do that, even if it's not registering a bunch of pages read, they still know you're trying to game their system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or some authors put the really interesting images at the very end of the book and put the links in the front. So if you want to see the pictures in this book, click here. They're all the way at the back. Authors still think it's working, that they're getting all those pages read. Again, you'll get permanently banned from Amazon for KDP for doing that. If you do anything to make people skip pages in the book, click here to go here and here to go there. And so that actually works better than the go to all the way to the end of the book because you're making people click on multiple pages. And Amazon's algorithms will pick it up every single time. So don't do it unless you want an immediate termination.
Yeah. I mean, the system, that's the way the system's built. It looks for unusual activity and you're not going to hide anything from their algorithms.
Oh no, they're way too smart. Now, sometimes they will warn an author by email first, but if they did not warn you first, if you just open your email this morning and you got an email from Amazon saying, we've terminated your account, you can no longer log into it, you're not getting your royalties, et cetera, and they don't tell you why. If they do that to you, they've determined that whatever you did was extremely severe. Yeah. Even if you didn't do anything at all. But that's what their system is telling them.
And this should be a warning to all authors considering using Amazon KDP to publish their books. Amazon can literally put you out of business instantly with just the click of a button. So before you think that you're gonna be so much better off just publishing your own book and handling all that stuff by yourself, those are the risks that you take.
Absolutely.
You go with a publisher, one that has lots and lots and lots of books on Amazon, then Amazon is willing to work with and communicate with
a large
that publisher.
Yeah.
So that's why we do not have problems with books being removed. Not to mention, we review the quality of that book.
Oh, absolutely.
And we make sure that book is correct and the way it's supposed to be before we upload it to Amazon.
Right, and that's just part of the service we offer. Yeah, and we're talking about Book Locker.
Yeah, Book Locker, our business. Yeah.
So why doesn't Amazon KDP tell authors what rules they allegedly broke? I researched this because I'm thinking legal liability. If they did something wrong, they won't be able to. The author won't be able to prove it later. But according to Google, Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing (KDP) rarely provides specific reasons for account terminations to protect their proprietary fraud detection systems. That makes sense. Yeah. If they started explaining to people exactly what they did wrong, the people could try to
start
game the
putting
system
together how to fool the system.
Right. Yeah. So that's why they don't do it. That deters bad actors from learning how to bypass their filters and avoid protracted legal arguments. See, I was right about that. Yeah. This opaque approach is standard practice for the platform. Several core factors explain why they operate this way, and this is interesting.
This is still from Google, right?
Yeah, right. Okay. This is, and we've talked about preventing gaming the system. If Amazon gave exact details on exactly which review, keyword, or paragraph triggered the termination, malicious publishers, authors, could use that information to reverse engineer the algorithms. Yeah. Again, I got to agree with Amazon on that.
Yeah.
Automated enforcement. Most audits are flagged by automated bots. Brian's yawning.
Sorry.
These. It's not that bad legalese. It's pretty interesting. I'm sorry. Flagged by automated bots, these systems detect patterns like copyright infringement, artificial reviews, or AI-generated content spam without a human ever drafting a specific explanation. So, again, it's all automated.
Yeah.
And contractual discretion. When authors sign the KDP terms and conditions, they agree that Amazon reserves the right to terminate accounts at its own discretion. Basically, you sign a contract that says, yep, Amazon can terminate me for any reason at any time, and they don't have to explain themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, for any reason.
And we talk about, we when we were discussing the fact that they basically have computers running everything and there's no human, you also agreed to that.
Right.
When you clicked that, I agree, and moved on because you want to hurry up and get your book loaded up.
Right.
You agreed that you're going to be basically judged by computers all the way through. Yeah. So.
And no author enters into the Amazon KDP contract thinking, wow, I could sell, thousands of books over the next 3 years. And then all of a sudden one day, and I'm counting on that money to pay my rent now, and then all of a sudden one day, boom, my little home-based publishing company is out of business.
Yep. Okay. So let's get into some real author stories here. Enough of the generic
of the why
of the hows and the whys.
Let's talk about some victims. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a USA Today best-selling author named Andrea Smith, and she wrote into Angela saying this. These KPD terminations of indie authors' accounts have continued to skyrocket. It just happened to me, and I've been self-publishing for 12 years. Think about that, folks. 12 years.
Yeah.
She was doing just fine.
And she became a USA Today best-selling author, doing it herself.
She lost her account.
Yep.
I received some template message from one title stating it violated quote-unquote book details.
What does that mean?
And that I needed to unpublish and correct the violation. They didn't tell me what book detail I purportedly violated. The email was sent around 8 p.m. on June 17th. I didn't check my emails until the following day around noon. 5 minutes prior to that, another email had come in from KDP content team stating that my account was now terminated and that all my accrued royalties would not be paid. In this email, they stated the reason is being violation of content guidelines. I'm retired, and the royalties from my 30-plus titles have helped me supplement my income. I was confused and sought to find out the details of the termination, but with my KDP dashboard being disabled, the only link for help was one to appeal the termination. Of course, over the span of the next 2 days, I did use that link to send multiple requests for clarification. I got it. It got to the point I was groveling.
Yeah.
I have, however, done some research on my own using Trustpilot to see reviews for KDP Amazon. Wow, the amount of accounts terminated over the past 2 years is astounding.
Yeah, I actually looked up Amazon KDP on Trustpilot. 88% of the reviews are 1 star.
Wow.
1 star. I pulled a couple. This was posted just 7 days ago. His name is Tom Richards. This best-selling author will never again publish his novels, travel guides, memoirs, or anything else on this dumb site run by robots. Hell with y'all idiots. I like him.
There was another officer. I am having trouble today.
You are having trouble today.
Must be the drugs. Okay.
Well, you're not on painkillers anymore, but you have been taking a lot of acetaminophen. I've heard, if you take a lot of that, you can...
Too much Tylenol.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, so here's what happened with this author. His account was terminated. Their account was terminated via automated email. The reason was, quote unquote, multiple accounts, which was completely false.
Yeah.
This author had one account only and accessed it from mobile and workplace computers. There were $3,500 in earned royalties confiscated by KDP.
That's a good word, confiscate. That's the author's name, but that's a perfect word for it. They confiscated it. Yep.
And he never received any warnings in 2.5 years.
Yeah. Yep. Well, the stories just get more and more similar, don't they? AD, not using the author's real name, wrote 3 different stated reasons. No complaint counts, no specific titles identified, no policy references. At no point did Amazon provide actual proof or evidence of any violation. Every notice was based on suspicion alone and nothing concrete to back it up. What he doesn't say it's a automated suspicion. It's an algorithm. It's a bot. It's not.
Yeah.
There's no human suspicion at all.
No, there isn't.
He said 2 different Amazon employees gave him different reasons for the termination, and he actually sent. I saw the emails. And the 3rd employee simply upheld the termination without giving any reason. So
these are not employees; these are computers doing this.
He did get emails from Amazon.
From actual. Okay.
One of the names I couldn't pronounce.
Oh, okay.
But so I think they were, probably Amazon employees are in India or something.
But their job is to simply tell you, yes, we've reviewed it, and we still find that you screwed up.
Right. Yeah. This is the guy who's owed 33,000 euros, which is 38,000 in US dollars.
Okay.
The guy we mentioned earlier in the episode.
So Craig writes in to us, please help. My Amazon KDP account was terminated and blacklisted because I needed to move my account to another email because my previous university email account expired as my studies ended.
This is an email from Amazon.
Okay, the email that he received was, this is Nidish.
Nidish?
Nidish. I think the H is silent.
I don't think Nidish is working in Washington State at Amazon's headquarters.
One of the managers with Kindle Direct Publishing. As per our terms and conditions, once an account is terminated, we are not allowed to open a new KDP you are not allowed to open a new KDP account. You are no longer eligible to receive unpaid royalties for sales that occurred prior to your Kindle Direct Publishing account being terminated as part of the account termination process.
And this is a bulleted list.
1, you can no longer access your KDP account, bookshelf, or reports. 2, we have removed your published books from the Amazon store. 3, you are not eligible to receive any outstanding royalties. And 4, you are not allowed to open a new KDP account.
Now, here's something important. If you cannot access your sales reports, so you don't know how many copies you bought yourself, how much money you've spent, or from a small business perspective, if you're filing a Schedule C on your tax return, and no, I'm not a CPA, but I've been doing accounting. Well, I used to work in accounting, but I'm not a CPA, okay? How are you supposed to correctly file your tax return if you cannot access your reports on their system, showing how much money you paid, how much money you sent them, how much money they sent you? I'm sure they're sending out a 1099 at the end of the year. But again, how can you correctly file your taxes if you don't have access to all that financial information?
Yeah, true.
I don't even know if, yes, you can go into Amazon KDP and download your sales reports. And if you are a KDP author, you need to be doing that every single month.
Yeah.
Yeah, and saving them to your own computer in case this happens to you.
Hard copy of it.
Yeah. Now, this is a lady I know.
Yeah.
Ivani Greppy. She's a registered nurse. And she calls Amazon KDP the killer of dreams publishing. And she wrote an article for us, and we'll put a link to that under this episode. Her 2 print books were for sale on Amazon. Her husband put up the ebook edition, but he noticed some errors in the formatting. So, of course, he reformatted the book and re-uploaded it. The next day, they received the termination notice from Amazon KDP. Ivani emailed Amazon KDP several times. Excuse me. Please, and here comes the groveling again. Though she doesn't use that word. These people get so desperate, they're like, please, please, please help me. And, of course, they're just talking to a robot. Yeah. Please tell us what we did wrong. We will fix it. Please, gatekeepers of the KDP universe, give our account back. We sincerely repent from any technical sin we may have committed. Now, if she was talking to a human, they would probably look at that and say, I really should look into this for this poor person. But, unfortunately, she was not. After reading email after email of canned responses from KDP customer service, the reality hit. There was no way in Hades we would ever get our account back. To make matters worse, we never received an explanation from the nefarious bots as to why our book titles were deemed misleading or fraudulent. And I've seen it before. When her husband went in and uploaded a new ebook file, they considered that duplicate content.
Yeah.
And that's why they terminated it. Betcha $50.
Yeah. That's all it takes is you realize there's something wrong with it, and you decide to re-upload. And in just about every other format and website on the internet, that's perfectly okay. If something's wrong with one file, you delete it and re-upload.
And many KDP authors do upload updated files with no problems. Well, but I've read many stories online of people that did exactly what her husband did, and all of a sudden, boom, lost the whole account.
So it's a crapshoot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and she am I talking about the same person here?
Yes.
Okay, and she republished her print and electronic print books through BookLocker. Those are on Amazon, and for y'all that don't know, Amazon and Amazon KDP are two separate entities.
Yeah.
Now, they're both under the Amazon umbrella,
Right.
but they are two completely different animals.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we had actually, BookLocker had published her books and loaded them up on Amazon.
But we did not publish our print books through Amazon KDP.
No, we did not.
We are the publisher, not
Yes,
Amazon.
we are.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And Amazon never complained about anything. And BookLockers, again, we have thousands of books for sale on Amazon, and Amazon does not go after business clients, but they seemingly don't have a problem with terminating individual authors in a heartbeat.
Right. Yeah. Here's
Okay.
another one.
Another author writes this. If my Amazon KDP account has been terminated, do you know any way I can get it back? Their last two emails have been very vague and say the same thing. And this is a quote from what she got from Amazon KDP. Yeah. As we previously stated, we still detect activity for your books originating from accounts attempting to manipulate Kindle services. You're responsible for ensuring that strategies used to promote your book comply with our terms and conditions. I'm sorry, but we can't offer any additional insight on this matter. So zero details. Yep. No idea what happened.
Or
to
if
get
she
this
did anything
account.
at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard from, it's a mother of two, and she sent me screenshots. She published several books through Amazon KDP, and she wrote, to get an email from Amazon KDP that they were suspending my account for violation of their terms of service was shocking, to say the least. I'm literally fighting back tears because I was working so hard on these books. So she sent us a screenshot. And Brian, you want to go through that? This is one of the actual emails that was sent to an author.
Okay, this is from Kindle,
KDP.
KDP. During a recent audit of your account, we found content and or activities that were in violation of our terms and conditions. Therefore, we are closing your account effective immediately. Examples include attempting to publish books that violate our content guidelines. As part of the termination process, 1, we will close your KDP account. 2, you're no longer eligible to receive any outstanding royalties. 3, you'll no longer have access to your account. This includes editing your titles, viewing your reports, accessing any other information within your account. And 4, all of your published titles will be removed from sale on Amazon. Additionally, as per our terms and conditions, you aren't allowed to open any new KDP accounts.
Yeah. Notice how, once again, we're not going to tell you what you did wrong. But screw you, and again, she's just a mother of two. Mm-hmm. Clearly, I'm sure she's counting on that income as well. And she worked so hard on her books, and then boom, they just shut the door.
They're just gone.
So she responded to them again, I need someone to call or email me immediately, please. I need to understand why my account was closed. And they just sent her another canned, upon further review, we're upholding our previous decision to close your account. So screw you, author. Yep.
Okay, this is an example of an author whose account wasn't terminated, but it may have well have been. So he can't access his Amazon KDP account at all. The books are still up for sale.
Yep.
And Amazon KDP has not been any help, and worse, he can't tell Amazon where to send his unpaid royalties. So where's all that money going when this book sells?
Well, if Amazon can't send you royalties, it just sits in their account until they can send you royalties. But if you can't even log into your account and there's no communication whatsoever, then they keep the money and the book stays up for sale. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So here's what they wrote us. This
the
is
author.
The author. This is a long shot. I am due to publish the 3rd book in my series, and I cannot access my author's account or my books in my KDP account. My account is locked out. I have had a terrible experience and have been trying to access my books for almost a year now. The frustration is killing me. I moved and my phone number changed, so the verification code goes nowhere. Mm-hmm. They won't verify online, and I had to open a new account so they could move all the books, but not any reports moved across. But now they just say my account is locked. They still have the book up for sale, though, through Amazon or on Amazon.
Yeah, so basically changed his phone number.
Yeah. And
couldn't get the verification code and can't get a real human to get on the phone with him and say, look, we're going to send it to the new phone number. Yeah. And then he committed one of the great sins. He opened a new KDP account and boink. Yeah. We'll go through these pretty quickly. These are terminated Amazon KDP authors who've shared their stories online. Mm-hmm. The Father, one word, on Reddit. Amazon terminated my KDP account yesterday for imitating a previously published book. He was imitating his own book.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. That's false. I'm the original creator. I own the full copyright, have proof of first publication, domain registration, early sales, and everything else. I immediately sent them an appeal with all documentation. I also sent a DMCA counter notice to an email at andy@amazon.com. I don't know who that is. No response yet. I expect I'll get the usual bot reply that doesn't address anything. The account has $70,000 in royalties pending. If it isn't resolved soon, I'm prepared to escalate legally. Good luck with that.
Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
He posted a follow-up saying that he had updated the paperback file 20 days prior to the termination.
Ding, ding.
However, they hadn't removed his hardcover edition. So then he added, I did send multiple messages, but only got the generic bot replies. So I figured at least the hardcover is up and working and left it alone. Then yesterday, boom, full termination over imitating my own book. They'd taken down this hardcover as well and closed his account. So he was selling a lot of copies, but said later several copycat books appeared on Amazon, but he was the one that got banned.
Yeah, so now think about that. 2 months of sales, $70,000 in unpaid royalties.
Yeah.
People know what books are selling on Amazon, and bad actors are copying those books, not word for word. They're imitating those books.
Yeah.
And Amazon might come in and say, "Oh, your book
is a duplicate,
too similar to this book, even if your book was published before that one."
Yeah,
we've seen other examples of that. Well, okay, this is Overkey. Okay, I like this chick. I'm assuming it's a chick. Okay, so she wrote, she lost her Amazon KDP account. Okay. Some companies in Estonia or some other, you're gonna have to put a beep in here, okay, or some other but Egypt place hired a copyright New York City lawyer to make a copyright trademark violation claim against any book that even had a remotely similar name. There was a very common phrase, which I won't mention here, that was one of many the dude was trying to trademark en masse, about a dozen words. The trademarks were pending and had not even been approved. She'd used the term before he did, and apparently it was a common phrase. He made one unsubstantiated claim against one of my book titles that I wrote 12 years ago. Yep, 12 years. And Amazon terminated my account within 12 hours of his claim.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, it's easy to file a trademark or copyright infringement complaint against Amazon against somebody else. But I believe that Amazon just automatically, boom, takes them down. They don't want to deal. They don't want their lawyers to deal with it. They don't want to be held liable later. But again, the trademarks hadn't even been registered yet.
Yeah.
And when I have filed, and I've done this through Meta because this scammer was using WritersWeekly.com to try to scam writers on Facebook. And they were using our logo and everything else. And I was able, when I went through Facebook to report it, they removed those pretty quickly too. I have to provide them with the link where they can see my registered trademark on the government website. So apparently Amazon's not doing that. Yeah, and it is not unusual for these fake trademark and copyright lawyers, they're actually scammers, to go after websites and even authors claiming you violated this and you need to send us $500 through Bitcoin right now. We've received several of those emails over the years. Yeah. So, and these people they were probably going to contact her later and try to do the same thing. So, Overkey adds, Amazon can give you a wedgie. I really like this person. Amazon can give you a wedgie and terminate you without a moment's thought. It takes zero evidence to make a claim against someone and have their entire catalog of books removed without explanation. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so before we wrap things up, we want to give you one final warning. You need to be very careful about companies that charge money to help you reinstate your Amazon KDP account. Yeah. This is just one more
service
arena that the scammers have jumped into because apparently they realize how big a problem Amazon KDP canceling people's accounts has become.
Yep.
They're going to take your money and they're going to run. And you can hire an actual attorney, but it would be far faster and likely far cheaper to simply publish your book through an actual publisher like booklocker.com rather than try to get an attorney involved.
Yeah.
We'll post a link on how to do that below this episode on WritersWeekly.com, podcast episode 43.
Yeah. Some of the authors we've mentioned today have had their books off the market for months, some more, some years. Amazon's been doing this for a few years. Some authors online lost their Amazon KDP accounts years ago, and some of those books were never put back up for sale anywhere because the authors assumed Amazon KDP was the only option. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are numerous publishing services companies out there, but beware of the overseas publishing crime cartel, which we've been warning people about for 2 years now. Under this episode, writersweekly.com/podcast, episode 43, we will post a link for 11 ways to detect the overseas publishing crime cartel, the bad actors.
Okey-doke.
Yeah, so.
All right. So terminated Amazon KDP authors who move to booklocker.com are eligible for BookLocker's disgruntled author account.
Discount.
Discount. Not account. Discount. I'm sorry.
You are getting tired.
I am. We have a special account just for disgruntled authors. No, we give a discount to you if you were screwed over by KDP and you come over to booklocker.com. Go to publishing.booklocker.com and click on the contact the CEO link at the top of that page. That's contact the CEO link, and that's at the top of the page, publishing.booklocker.com. Those emails go directly to Angela, not a bot, not an AI assistant. Go to a human
I'm a
being
human. Just
who's
ask Brian.
sitting right across the table from me.
Yeah.
I also would like to mention that BookLocker authors' books are not only available on Amazon, but also Barnes & Noble, Target.com, Walmart.com, BooksAMillion.com, and thousands of other retailers across the globe. So customers' local bookstore can also order copies directly from BookLocker at a discount.
Yeah, so if your neighbor wants to buy a copy locally, she can call the local Barnes &
That's
Noble,
right.
and they contact us, and they buy a copy,
Send them a copy.
and they get a discount.
Yep.
And then your neighbor can pick it up at their local bookstore.
That's true.
Yeah, we make it easy.
Yep.
And we give bookstores bigger discounts than even the distributor does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why take a chance on KDP when you can just come to BookLocker and get it done right?
And not have to worry.
And not have to worry
Is it going to happen to me?
that
Is it going to happen to
12
me?
years from now, you might get your account shut down.
Or 6 months from now.
Or 6 months from now, or any time in between, and never even know why they did it.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
does that wrap it up for us today?
Well, it's about dinner time, and you know what I feel like for dinner? Some really juicy chicken.
I'm about to barf. Okay. That wraps it up for this episode of the Writers Weekly podcast. I hope you all join us again next time, and we hope that you learned something from this episode.
Yeah.
We'd really like to see less and less people go through this, and I think the only way to make that happen is have less and less people go through Amazon KDP.
Yeah, right.
Just because of this right here.
It's not worth the risk.
It really is not worth the risk. I mean, you can, it's free to upload your stuff to KDP, but you're rolling the dice.
Well, also, if you don't know how to format books or create covers or whatever, you have to hire people to do that before you can upload to KDP.
Well, that's true. So,
and if you hire one person to edit your book, one person to do your cover, one to do the interior formatting, conversion, whatever, you'll end up spending far more money than if you just went to booklocker.com. And you can get everything done with the disgruntled author discount or at your service program. You can get everything done for $875.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So that wraps it up for today, and we will see you all again next time on the Writers Weekly podcast.
Dinner time.
Bye.